Hey guys, V. Rigoni, Max, high performance real estate entrepreneur. So we're going to be hitting this today is we're going to be talking some questions that you guys have had based upon the last video, where we discussed why you want to choose real estate as your investment vehicle, the way to get financially free. Why do you want to do that? So these are some of the questions that we've had, and so let's start out and we're going to answer those. Adam, give me the first question.
So these videos that you're making, are they for more people that have the entrepreneurial spirit or just for the everyday people? And how does someone as a viewer know if your videos are the right ones for them?
Right. Well, great question, but the reality is that the everyday people just want to go to work. The everyday people just want to work 9 to 5 or whatever the shift is and do what they do and then go home and get in front of the TV or whatever they're going to get in front of and sit there and spend. The everyday people is just going to go home, sit there and spend, the next 6 hours doing absolutely nothing. That's what the everyday people is. And you might say, oh, you're being all judgy. I don't care. Whatever they do. Maybe they do some really wonderful things. But their focus is not on becoming wealthy, not on becoming financially free. I'm talking to people who want to become financially free. Now, yes, you might be an everyday person. I'm an everyday person, but I have a mindset. I'm looking for people to change their lives, to help them change their lives. The people who have a mindset that want more, that just don't want to get up, do the same damn thing every day, go to work for the man, the matrix, and live your life that way. You want to get free. You want to be able to do what you want to do, wherever you want to do it, whenever you want to do it, wherever, with whomever. That's really the bottom line. Those are the people I'm talking to. Those are the people that are watching this channel. Those are the people that are interested in what I've got to say.
This one's going to be a two-parter. Why should someone want to vet a tenant, and what are the best ways to vet a tenant?
Yeah, well, listen, practical questions around the actual ownership of a rental property are really important. So why should you vet a tenant? Well, because the laws, whether you're in a blue state or a red state, there's still laws that are consumer-driven laws based upon what is in the best interest of the tenant. That's right, not the landlord. They don't give a shit about the landlord. Just the name landlord is why they don't give a shit about you. They don't. And so you have to vet that tenant. Now, you have to vet that tenant from a legal perspective. You can't vet that tenant based upon race or sexual orientation or any of that kind of bullshit. You vet everybody the same. If you require tax returns from your tenants, 2 years, 3 years, you have to get the same from every tenant. If you're going to require a background check, as long as it's legal within your jurisdiction, then you have to require a background check on everybody, whether it's a credit report check, a criminal check. You don't want no damn pedophiles in your building. You want to be able to, but you have to do it the same. If you do it the same, and and not only do you do these background checks, not only you do, the tax returns, not only are you talking about that you want to see what their bank statement is, you have to do this for everybody. But if you do this for everybody, then you're going to come out ahead because you're going to get tenants that are going to be the tenants that pay. And by the way, if they don't provide all this stuff in a timely manner, what is a timely manner? In the time in which you expect it to show up, complete, not handwritten bank statements, not bullshit, then you kick them to the curb. And people might say, oh, look at, he's so mean. No, you're giving everybody the same opportunity. So when you're choosing a tenant, everybody has to go through the same filter. And if you do that, then you'll stay on the right side of the law and you'll stay on the right side of being an owner of real estate.
So everybody and their Auntie Deborah dreams of having a lot of money, right? What's the difference between being rich and being wealthy?
Well, yeah. Well, I always believe this way. Getting rich is on the way to becoming wealthy. Unfortunately, a lot of rich people, once they start to get some money, they start doing some stupid shit. They start buying the big cars. They start buying all this stuff, especially when they get to a couple $1,000,000. They think, it's time to just, my God, I got to reduce the level of risk I take. Unfortunately, a lot more rich people drop back down into, the middle class than wealthy. Wealthy people will drop back down because of the risk they take. Rich people will get into trouble because of the fact they start spending too much and they stop taking any risk. Wealthy people tend to drop. If you look at the Forbes Fortune 100 or whatever they call it, those people move around. About 30% of those people drop off the list every year. And those people, because they're the wealthy people, but sometimes they take inordinate levels of risk. That's just the way they live. But you'll see that they don't drop too far. But the bottom line is that rich should be on the road to wealthy. Because rich is one of those kind of things where if you make $250,000 a year, 90% of the world is going to say you're rich. And you're going to say, well, wait a second. I live in New York. I pay a shitload of taxes. Everything costs a fortune. And I'm not feeling too rich. But if you've got $3-4 million, you're rich. Whether it's in real estate, whether it's in stocks and bonds, whatever. But rich is on the road where your financial freedom is intact. I don't think going to work, making $250,000 makes you rich. It makes you a guy that has a good job or a lady that has a good job, pays a lot of taxes. Rich is when you gain your financial freedom. When you can sit there and you don't have to, you can pay your taxes, and then in the end, you don't have to go to work in order to make money. Money in the mail, baby. Money in the mail. That's where we're at.
So cash flow may not be end all be all dependent on your situation, but it is very important. What are the best ways to maximize the cash flow that's coming in to your rental property?
Yeah. Well, first of all, that is a very important question, because when you're dealing with real estate, cash flow is one of the basic principles, positive cash flow. All real estate has a cash flow. The question is it negative, neutral, or positive, right? So then how do you maximize that? Well, some people, depending upon how many units they have in a building, they can just change the light fixtures, and it can improve them. It can improve the cash flow because it reduces the electric bill in the general areas. It can be something as simple as that. It can be you in the beginning when you have your first property, you're going to be doing all the maintenance in most cases. So you're going to improve your cash flow because you're going to spend your time. But then as the rents go up and you get more properties, you can't spend all your time at every unit. So then you start to then pay for that. Well, that can negatively impact your cash flow, because now you're paying someone to cut the grass. You're paying someone to paint those doors, the units. That's just part of ownership. So as the rents go up or you get more units, you're going to first increase you're going to have that positive cash flow in many cases because you're doing the work. But over time, then the rents go up, and then you get to hire somebody else. And as they continue to go up, your cash flow continues to go up. Now, be very careful. Mortgages have a giant impact on cash flow. And if there was one thing that has been a negative impact on cash flow in the last 2 years, it's been interest rates going from 3.5%, in some cases 2.5%, to 8%. Now they're back into the 6s. That could be the biggest hit on your cash flow. So properties that were, if a property, let's say 2 years ago, you're paying the same amount for that property, but you were getting a 3.5% mortgage when you bought it, and now you're going to pay almost a 7% mortgage. Oh yeah, you all of a sudden you don't have the same cash flow, my friend. You just don't. All right, so then you're going to have to make up that cash flow in other ways. And as rates come down, and they come down far enough over time, then you can improve your cash flow by refinancing that 6% mortgage down to a lower rate mortgage. Another thing that can impact your cash flow on a negative basis is private mortgage insurance, because they put that, it's called either MIP or PMI, depending upon if it's conventional or FHA. But then once that property gets an equity value of at least 20% or more, then you can refinance that property, or in some cases, it will automatically drop off, and then you get to improve your cash flow because your mortgage payment went down on a monthly basis. So there's another way you can improve your cash flow, depending upon how much money you put down or the equity growth in your property. What else we got? We're good? Those are 3 really great questions. Let's get out there. Let's make it happen. And remember what I always say. What is that? All right, think big, start now, grow fast. Talk to you soon. Hey, and let's make it happen.